We planned out you coming on this pod like a month ago. And who
Yeah,
would have thought
yeah.
Raptors only a half game back from the 2 seed
Mhm.
this morning after
Yeah.
beating the Oklahoma City Thunder on Sunday.
Look at us.
Oh my
Look at
God.
us. Who would have thought?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly.
Who would have expected this? And OKC, they beat them on Sunday. Raptors so far this year, they have the number 4 defensive rating in the NBA. That's the main reason for their success. That's why where they are in the Eastern Conference. But I want to start with their offense, because you use the word fun, and that's the way I feel watching Toronto. Like it's fun watching these guys, and they're number 5 in the NBA in assist percentage, number 5 in cut frequency. They're constantly moving, playing fast. Jamal Shed was whipping the ball around on Sunday against the Thunder. It was just, this offense is just fun to watch how selflessly they play.
Yeah, no, they absolutely are. And I'm glad you brought in the assist percentage, because I think that's something that over the last 2 or 3 seasons, head coach Darko Rajakovic has really been trying to instill in this team. It's playing this egalitarian offense, which is on any given night, you don't know who's going to go off, right? Recently, it's been Immanuel Quickley. In December and November, it was Scottie Barnes and Brandon Ingram. Early in the season, it was RJ Barrett. So you really don't know who's going to be the main guy on any given night. And that has its pros and cons, of course, because when you don't have one consistent source of offense, you have to go searching. The Raptors offense has gone through that this year. But overall, to your point about it being fun, they have this collective effort type of thing going, which the vibes are incredible in that locker room. If you go and watch some of their videos, some of the post-game stuff that they do. And generally, you have a group of guys that enjoys playing with each other. So that assist percentage aspect really leans into what you see on the basketball court as well, which is guys sharing the rock, playing unselfishly. And to your point about the cuts and the offensive system, I really do think it has this European style of basketball that everybody kind of knows. There's this signature style of European basketball, which is tons of ball movement. Guys are cutting all over the place, and the Raptors have that. They're playing through their big men a lot. I know Jakob Poeltl has been hurt, but overall, it's like working through Scottie Barnes' dribble handoffs and trying to get Colin Murray-Boyles going, who I know you're a big fan of. We can talk about CMB soon too. This offense has been, I think it could be better, and I think it started out the season better. But you can see the fun aspect of it. To your point.
I mean, I think you mentioned playing through Scottie and all that. Obviously, they're without Poeltl right now. He's not going to be out for a bit. But I was looking at numbers this year. There's been only 20 players that have logged 75-plus post-ups this season, and there's 3 teams that have a pair of players that have done it. Denver, Jokic and Valanciunas, no surprises there, 2 bigs. Milwaukee, Giannis and Portis, again, no surprise. And then Toronto, Scottie Barnes and Brandon Ingram, playing through their big wings, their forwards in the post. It's not the most efficient play for Toronto in the half court, but it's just another wrinkle in the way in which they're playing in the half court when they're not able to get out to transition. How is Toronto using the post through Scottie, especially, and through Ingram as well, in order to generate buckets in the half court?
Well, what they do is they try to set up both Scottie and Ingram in like the mid post or pinch post area. And that creates a lot of advantages for them to be playmakers. So obviously, Scottie has a different kind of method to his madness than Brandon Ingram does. Ingram is more of a mid-range scorer, really loves to work in that long mid-range area. So if you get him working in that mid-post area, he can score with the best of them. For Scottie, it's more bully ball. So he is going to get a switch on a pick and roll. He is going to get that defender, whether it's a guard or a smaller wing, or maybe even a big man who's slow-footed. He's going to get that guy in the post and use his advantage, whether it's his strength or his speed, to really create an advantage for the rest of the team. The defense, obviously, like there's a double that comes at some point in time. And then Scottie Barnes, the great thing about him is that he's such a great playmaker. And he's very good with the ball in his hand, so he can make decisions pretty quickly. So that's what's helping them. Also, interior passing. It's near the top of the league. I remember I checked this maybe a couple of weeks ago, but the connection between Scottie Barnes and Brandon Ingram on the interior was near the top of the league. Obviously, you think of like Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, that's near the top of the league. Ivica Zubac and James Harden, that's near the top of the league. But both Scottie Barnes and Brandon Ingram are also there. as far as like scoring on the inside. And so you see it clearly come into fruition with how they're working in the post area and how that's just it's translating to their offense.
You mentioned earlier, as how their offense was a bit better early in the year. Well, I mean, it
Yeah.
did dip a lot in December. They had the number 20 offensive rating until Christmas. Since then, they're number 11 in offensive rating, 17th on the whole season. What's been better this past month for the Raptors on the offensive end of the floor? Well, what's behind this improvement we're seeing lately? Or is this just a small sample, you think?
Yeah, so in December when they were 20th, a lot of that was because they were missing RJ Barrett. And they were forced to find themselves. The Raptors fans will tell you the record with and without Barrett this season. Without him, they are below 500. With him, they are well above 500. And I think part of that is because RJ provides such an important skill as far as attacking the rim. He's basically the only guy on the team that can get to the basket consistently off of the dribble. And that provides so many avenues for their offense because there's a lot of driving kick scenarios that Barrett can create. There's a lot of opportunities for him to finish in and around the basket, and his craft in that area has improved so much. Barrett has also dealt with a lot of injuries recently. So he had a knee injury in December. He's had an ankle injury for the last week or so. But overall, he boosts this offense in such a major way when it comes to getting out in transition, getting to the basket, and to that aspect, like finding ways to win on that side of the ball. I think overall, what's helped the Raptors, which is funny because they haven't shot the ball well. That in January, before I believe these last couple of games, they were 29th in 3-point percentage. So it's not like they're shooting the ball very well. But I think the reason they work better offensively is because they've leaned on their characteristics as a bully ball team, and Scottie is bullying guys at the basket. Colin Murray-Boyles is doing a lot better of a job. I think the Immanuel Quickley turnaround recently has been a big part of their offense
He's been
looking
so
better as
good,
well.
S.
He's been
Been
incredible.
so good.
Yeah, he's averaging 20 points in January, 6 assists. He's shooting 61% true shooting. Like the fact that he's been as effective as he is recently is part of the offense bouncing back in a major way. When he is so important to what they do offensively because he's the only guy on the team that can knock down a pull-up jump shot. He's the only guy on the team that can put pressure on a defense in the pick and roll as a ball handler because of his three-point shooting. And on top of that, he's very good off of the catch as well. So he can put pressure on defenses when the defense is in rotation, when it comes to attacking a closeout and settling into a floater or catching and shooting a three. Like there are just so many ways that Immanuel Quickley can impact the game offensively when his scoring is as good as it is. And obviously he had a 40-point game against the Warriors recently, which was like, I don't know exactly what the number was, but it was like 112 true shooting percentage. It was ridiculous. That clearly helps. But overall, when he's playing better, when the scoring is there for him, this Raptors offense is rolling as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Raptors offense definitely trending up lately, and we'll talk about like potential moves they could make in a minute here, but I do want to touch on their defense first, since that's really the main reason behind their success. The Raptors are number 4 in defensive rating on the entire season. They had great success, obviously, regardless of the opponent. So far this year, I mean, just the way they fly around, their rotations, even without a center. I mean, how is this team so good defensively without a true 5 back there? It just blows my mind.
I really do think it should blow people's minds. Like you look at this team.
How?
It's Scottie Barnes, man. It's purely Scottie Barnes. We can probably count on one hand the amount of plus defenders the Raptors have on their team. I can't, other than maybe Jacoby Walter, Colin Murray-Boyles, Jamal Shed, depending on the matchup. I just don't see any other positive defenders on the Raptors. And yet they're 4th in defensive rating. So
to your point, S, usually like a defense this great, there's a bunch of all D type of guys, reputation. And like this team has some good guys, but it's not like that level. It's
look
just
at
crazy
the rest
that the
of the
collection
top
makes sense like this.
Exactly. Look at the rest of the top 5 defenses in the NBA. The Oklahoma City Thunder, even when they are absolutely injured, have multiple defensive guys. They obviously have Chet Holmgren down the middle. Like, there is, you could make an argument for 5 all defense candidates on the Thunder. The Pistons have Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren is much
Yes.
improved, Asar Thompson on the wings, Ron Holland on the wings, Cade is a very good defender for his position. The Spurs have Wemby and they have Harper and they have this litany of guard defenders and Steph Castle, who loves to die on the floor whenever he wants to. There are so many talented defenders on those teams. And then when you look at the Raptors, who are 4th in defense, the one defender who is, in my opinion, a very clear-cut all-defense candidate right here, and I would push it even further and say Defensive Player of the Year candidate, is Scottie Barnes. Leads the NBA in stocks, total stocks. He's been doing it all without a center. He is number 1 in clutch blocks this season. And there's been a lot of moments this season where he's actually saved the game. If you go back to the Hornets win that they had, I believe in November, he had a clutch block over Colin Sexton to win. There have been moments where he's blocked Donovan Clingan at the rim. Obviously, Chet Holmgren on that jump shot that you saw yesterday. I think there's a very clear-cut case for Scottie to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, surely because the rest of his team isn't this all-defense caliber team. It's him raising, as I said in this tweet, being the tide that raises all boats. That's truly what Scottie is doing on defense on any given night. And it's hurt some of his impact metrics, admittedly, because when he's on the floor, it's not like the Raptors defense is massively different, because ultimately he's being asked to carry poorer defensive lineups. So his impact metrics aren't necessarily as good as maybe Rudy Gobert's or Victor Wembanyama's. But the case is pretty clear for him to be in that conversation, in my opinion.
I mean, I think just considering the amount of versatility, they put him on so many different positions on the floor. He can defend wings, he can defend bigs, he can defend quicker guys, stronger guys. It's just the level of versatility is remarkable. And we'll see if Wemby reaches the 65 games. He still could. Rudy Gobert, I'd have as the favorite right now. I'm a little surprised Vegas, the odds have
I agree.
Chet Holmgren as the favorite. He's like minus 150, minus 125. I'm a little bit surprised there, to be honest with you, with Chet. It feels like that's more like the Marcus Smart style winner, where it's like a team award. Like, well, we'll give it to the best defense to a guy on that team. But I'd lean towards Gobert or Scottie at this time for my leader for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing this right now as sort of a case for and case against thing for Raptors Republic, and Rudy Gobert's case is very, very good. Like, it's hard to pick apart his case just because the Wolves are near the top of the league when he is on the floor. They are 29th on defense when he is off the floor. It's staggering. The so way that he defends at the basket, apart, dude. They collapse. Yeah, and look, the Naz Reid, Julius Randle lineups have not worked for them defensively overall. So that's part of why the impact metrics are what they are. But you look at Gobert's case and it's incredible. I agree with you that he should be right there with Chet and Wemby and, in my opinion, Scottie for the Defensive Player of the Year race. But the reason the Raptors defense is what it is, it's purely because of what Scottie Barnes has been able to do.
Well, and with all this in mind, the Raptors center is out. They have like a great defense as a team. Scottie is amazing, and the offense has played well as of late. They're a half game back from the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Toronto is in a position where they've been involved in a bunch of, could they have interest in this guy or that guy? What do you think the Raptors should do with the deadline here? Should they be aggressive and go for it here in this wide open Eastern Conference?
I would love for them to stay patient. I think if you look at the players that are available right now, Anthony Davis is available on the market. Domantas Sabonis is available on the market. There have been rumors about Ja Morant. At one point in time, it was LaMelo Ball. All of these players have their own warts and flaws, right? And I mean, I could probably argue for each one of them that while they have their massive benefits one way or another, are they the difference maker for the Raptors to take them from what they are right now which is fighting for second in the Eastern Conference, to a legitimate championship contender. I don't think that's the case. I don't think Anthony Davis makes the Raptors a championship contender, although obviously he is an all-NBA and all-defense level player when he's healthy.
Could make it
when
worse,
he's healthy, he could make it worse. Yeah, exactly. And look, the amount that you would have to go out and trade for these guys is another conversation. I would rather keep the powder dry, if you will, to go out and see what happens this summer. Obviously, the Giannis rumors are something, and I'm not sure if the Raptors have what it takes to go out and get Giannis, but there will be other star players that are available. The Cavs are currently in a kind of make or break season. What if down the line Donovan Mitchell becomes available, right? I think there's legitimate questions about what happens with LaMelo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets later down the road. I just think there will be more opportunities for the Raptors to make a legitimate upgrade to their roster compared to the players that are available right now. I think, and KOC, I wonder what you think about this. I would rather them go out and try to address their center situation with a smaller trade, like a Yves Missi or a Goga Bitadze or a Day'Ron Sharpe, guys who they've been linked to. Nick Richards, right? Yeah, something like that. To just try and address having a center out there, because that'll be important for their chances in the playoffs. But I don't see them. It just doesn't make sense to me to go out and get a Sabonis or an Anthony Davis to solve that problem.
How about bring back Mo Bamba? I still can't believe Darko didn't give him a chance. I can't believe it.
You're a believer, man.
I can't believe I'm a Bomb believer. I can't believe Darko didn't see it. Didn't want to give a chance to a guy who shoots 38% from three at the 5 spot and block shots at the rim. Feels like that's exactly the type of guy this Raptors team could need to space the floor.
Listen, you're right. Hypothetically, in the utopia we strive towards, Mo Bamba should, yes, absolutely, yeah.
I can't believe it. Come on, Darko. I do think you're spot on, though, S. I mean, it's funny. Like this year, it feels like a theme with my perspective on like a lot of these teams. I keep saying, go for it. These teams should go for it. Make a big trade. It's open. Go for it. With Toronto, they're the one team that I look at and I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't know if it's the right moment. I think I'd be more open to like a Trey Murphy type, somebody like that. But at the same time, like that's going to cost you a lot. If Trey Murphy is indeed available and if other teams are bidding, a la Golden State or San Antonio, that could get pretty pricey for Toronto, where it's like, well, maybe we should bypass on Trey Murphy and just wait for the next guy. And so I think that's where it like leads to exactly your same perspective, where it's like, well, maybe you just wait. Maybe just wait and ride out this year, have this fun team. Maybe you make it to the second round of the playoffs, and who knows what could happen. Yeah. And that who knows aspect, though, S, that is where I do wonder, well, you never know. Like, what if you do find your way into the finals? And maybe then it's like, shucks, we should have made a move. But, you know, I don't think there's any guy out there right now that makes all the sense in the world to invest so many future assets, and it really moves the needle for you. That's where I keep coming back to with this team.
So the Orlando Magic, right? They made that big trade this summer for Desmond Bane. And I mean, I think Desmond Bane is a very good player, and we could argue about the value of that trade back and forth if you'd like. They obviously got off the Kentavious Caldwell-Pope extension as well. But the Magic are 8th in the Eastern Conference. They have not, many people expected the Magic to be in contention, to be top 4 in the East, to be battling. And I know injuries have really hurt them. You know, Franz, Suggs, Paolo at any given moment have been injured this year too. But like, they don't necessarily have any other moves to go out and make outside of trading one of their core players eventually, because they gave up those picks. And so I feel like the Raptors are in a similar situation where they have a good proof of concept, right? Ingram has fit in very well. Scottie Barnes has fit in very well. And they've shown that they can be, you know, all-star caliber / whatever from Scottie, all defense caliber players. The rotation looks good and makes sense. I just think if you were going out and making a trade for Trey Murphy even, right, you're probably looking at a Desmond Bane type of package, and then you don't have anything else left to go out and give if another player becomes available. So you're kind of putting yourself in a tough position, painting yourself in a corner if you go out and make that type of trade.